Damaged by you, damaged by me. I'm confused, don't wanna be confused.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, everybody. We're back.
We're back for a special episode.
Yeah. Another Halloween playlist this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we need some spooky sound effects here.
And then just stab noises. Just shing, 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 shing.
Stab core chords.
Yeah.
Fucking the Norma Jean scream.
Yeah.
That should have been last week.
That thing that was totally not overdone in the early 2000s.
It's great. Makes me so happy. So how you guys doing this week?
Well, how are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Great.
Just enjoying some beers.
From the North Brewery,
Yeah.
our lovely sponsor.
This one in particular.
They remain open.
This one specifically.
I drew a thing.
Christina
and they
illustrated
put it
a
on
cover.
can.
Yes.
I don't recognize this world anymore is the name of the beer.
And Zach also wants everyone to know to make sure to grow a mustache and promote safe sex.
All of the safe sex.
Yeah, we were technically supposed to be filming a John Carpenter episode tonight, but he had to bail. So we're doing that next week.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Coming soon.
I made sure not to put any John Carpenter on my list. So
Yes,
I omit
that's good.
Ghost of Mars.
Yeah.
That'll will that be like the last week of October when we air that one?
John Carpenter?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll round out the season nicely.
Yeah.
All right, let's go around and plug our socials again. I'm Josh Ruff. JoshRuff.com on all the things. www.joshruff.com. And we're here at Renaissance Studios again at RS Tattoo NY on Instagram.
Hi, guys. Reggie Cuvelier here. You can find me at Reggie Inks on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I like to draw and tattoo. And here I am.
I'm Christina Maslar. You can find me at Christina_Maslar on Instagram, Christina Maslar on Facebook, at Renaissance Tattoo, in this room here sometimes, at home.
I'm Bam Maslar, painter. You can find me online on Instagram at Bam_Maslar. My website, bambburnsthings.com. Co-owner of Crucible Gallery, www.crucibleartgallery.com.
Fucking sweet, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we talking about today to start with?
It's our mixtape.
Yeah.
It's our
Halloween
Halloween
mixtape.
Halloween themed mixtape.
Yeah. So things that we enjoy that are all things spooky. So
I found a nice illustration for a title card there
Oh, very nice.
by Chris R. Wright.
A side of Michael Myers I've never seen before.
ooh.
This
What-
illustrator made a series called Lady Killers. So if you ever want some pin-up serial killer boys from movies, you can find them at Chris R. Wright. Lady Killers. Right
Chris
there.
R. Wright.
Yes.
Cool.
Some serial killers as fitness models.
Yes.
Very in shape.
Awesome.
So who's first?
All right. So I actually chose some artists that are more on the illustration side. You see a lot of painters this time of year that are really heavily promoted as horror artists. So I wanted to go more on the illustration. And these are actually artists that we've worked with Crucible Gallery. So the first one up.
Shameless self-promotion. I like it.
Yeah. First one up is Robert Kryza. I probably am butchering your last name. I apologize, Robert. This was done for our witch show 2 years ago.
Nice.
He is a tattoo artist out of Philly, I believe.
I believe so.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what shop he works at?
I don't offhand. I probably should.
There's like a billion of them in Philly, so
But
Yeah.
you can find him at R. Kryza on Instagram.
cool.
Yep, at R. Kryza.
He does some
pretty
rad
rad.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Did you say pen and ink? Or is that like pencil?
I think it's graphite.
Yeah,
He worked
graphite.
a lot of
Cool.
graphite.
Got them cloaks pretty dark. I like it.
Yeah.
It's hard to do with graphite.
Without getting
Like
that
just
weird
graphite.
shine.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite pieces from the show.
Cool. Because there's a lot of exposed vagina in it, Bam. Is that why?
No, because it's a cool piece.
Sure.
The vagina's just secondary.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, it's the boobs, not the vagina.
I'm not a 12-year-old anymore.
Are you sure about that?
You just bought a hat with a wizard on it.
Yeah, I did.
Like a sweet van wizard?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'd buy that.
It's on the underside brim. So it's,
Nice.
yeah, it's a pretty sweet hat. And then we've got Andy Skiazko. He's out of the West Coast, also an illustrator. He's actually done a bunch of books and such over the years. This was another piece for our witch show.
I'm getting a hard Stephen Gamble vibe from this one.
Yes.
Scary Stories illustrator.
Yep.
He actually did illustrations for another book, I'm pretty sure written by the same person
Yeah.
that wrote Scary Stories.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yep.
Elvin Schwartz.
I believe so. I believe that's who he illustrated for.
I'm just going off the top of my brain, so it's probably wrong. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that is the guy that wrote those books, though.
yep. So we apologize, Andy, if we're incorrect, because I drink a lot and I usually am wrong. So,
Well, nobody said that we're entirely accurate on this show.
If anything, do your own research if you're planning to actually.
Yeah,
write
don't listen to
something.
us. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about most of the time. Yeah, this is cool, though. I really like it. Is it, do you know what medium it is?
ink. Yep.
Yeah, it's cool. This one's
Oh,
like,
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
like an ink wash.
Yeah. Yep. He does a lot of heavy, heavy darks.
You can tell he was influenced by those books.
Yeah. Major
As most of
influence.
us were.
He just had an art show that he put together.
I believe
Came
so.
out.
Yeah. Have to check in on him.
A
Have-
second.
have-
I'll find the name of it. But
Yeah.
if you want to move forward, that's fine.
So
This one's
this
cool.
Yep. This one
Sweet.
is he was actually not in one of our shows. This is Ryan Murray from Black Veil Tattoo out of Salem. So Ryan and Matt Murray. Matt was able to be in our show, and that's actually the next image. But this one is Ryan's piece. He's one of two co-owners there.
It's dope. I like
Yeah,
how he
that's
framed
sweet.
it with all the crystals and such around there.
Yeah,
Pine cones.
he's really good at doing all the additives and really
Making his
building.
photos a little dynamic.
Yeah, building
Cool.
that up.
It's a pretty solid design. It would make for a really awesome tattoo
Yeah.
with a 3-liner, yo.
And then this is his brother, Matt. This one was in our show.
Nice.
Very similar in style.
Yeah, that's
they,
cool.
they work a lot off of each other.
They don't happen to be twins, do they?
They
Oh,
are
yeah,
twins.
they are
That's
twins.
yes.
fucking rad.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I just found the name. It's called We've Always Been Here.
We've always been here with Andy
Andy.
Skiazko.
Cool. Yeah, they're both really awesome. Both
Yeah.
really solid designs.
Amazing tattoo artist, too.
Yeah. Said they're in Salem.
Salem.
Cool.
Their tattoos look identical to these as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
They are so dark and black.
Yeah, I can tell with these designs that they're tattooers. These are just made for tattoo designs.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
They specialize in lots
sweet.
of witchy stuff.
Yeah.
I love their tattoo work.
Yeah. I'm hoping to make it up there one day and get a piece by them.
Cool. We'll do it.
Well, after maybe the COVID.
We'll do it anyway.
And here we have Darktown Sally. She is I think she's out of the Midwest now.
She was from Puerto Rico.
Yep. I think she might be out of the Midwest now. But again, could be completely wrong.
We did our research.
Yeah.
So she was-
What medium is this? Do you know?
Ink as well.
Cool.
The whiteout pen on top.
Yep.
Maybe some acrylic splatter like we were talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
just a little toothbrush or
Yeah.
just a
Yep.
cap.
She specializes in that. Just that little bit of extra
Twinkle.
sparkle.
Yeah, that's great.
She also does lots of witchy things.
Big on witches.
Sweet.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
those clouds are an ink wash, that's awesome.
Yeah.
'Cause it seems like a lot of control with being able to work that media.
Yeah, they're really awesome. Very believable.
And then Caitlin McCarthy. So also an illustrator. Not sure if this was in graphite or pen and ink. It might have actually been a mixed media piece. Another artist that does amazing layouts of all the nice photographs, the nice display of the work.
Cool.
I've tried doing that, and it just looks like my cat knocked over a bunch of shit before I took a photo. So it takes talent and patience.
Yeah. Just ends up looking cluttered and not meaningful. I just love the veil in this one. Just that attention to detail. Just the nice little subtle highlights.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool design.
And her work's mostly Edwardian stuff. Hey, there's mine. So I did my playlist on books and movies because I love this time of year and I'm a nerd. This is for Lords of Salem, the book. The movie is kind of trash if you haven't read the book. I would highly recommend reading the book and not watching the movie. Basically, it's about this DJ named Heidi Hawthorne, and she plays a record someone leaves her by a band called Lords of Salem, and they totally make fun of basically the whole black metal look. But it turns out that back when witches were burned in Salem, a witch named Margaret Morgan cursed the families of all the people that burned her, and she happens to be one of them. So when they play this record, anyone from any of those families that got cursed, all the women start losing their shit.
Oh.
And it's a really good, like, slow burn book, and by the time you get to the end, you're like, what the fuck just happened? I highly recommend it.
Was this written by Zombie? Or is his name
Yeah,
on
it's
there?
written
Just-
by both of those.
Okay,
So
okay.
Rob Zombie and B.K. Evanson.
So what the fuck happened with the movie then?
Basically, the movie, he edited it so much, if you didn't read the book, you have no idea what's going on in the fucking movie.
So if I read the book, would I appreciate the movie more then?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you would know what happened right before.
Because I did it backwards. I saw the movie, then read the book, and
Yeah.
it explained a lot. And
Because I think the movie follows, because she has a lot of periods of memory loss in the movie, and the book explains it better because shit's happening to her when she's going through these, like, basically memory loss points.
What's your favorite Rob Zombie movie?
I like The Devil's Rejects quite a bit. The last one he did was pretty good too, but Devil's Rejects, I'd say, was probably like,
Last one being the sequel to Devil's Rejects, that one?
I think he did a pretty good job with the Halloween movies too. People hate on those, but the first one I think was really good. It kind of explained the backstory and psychology of Michael.
I know
didn't
John
mind that
Carpenter's
movie. I know.
definitely not a fan of those.
really? He's not? I didn't know that.
Well, I guess he wasn't really involved with it at all.
No.
I thought he did a lot of the music for it.
That was
Mhm.
the other one that
That's
came out
Danny
afterwards.
McBride's.
Yeah.
I thought he did the music with Rob Zombie too,
Nope.
though.
No,
Okay.
Basically, when John Carpenter did Halloween, he kind of made it as an anthology. So he was just supposed to be like a serial killer that had no feelings and wore a mask and kind of just a phantom. So he's not supposed to have really that much of a backstory. And Rob Zombie gave him a backstory.
Well, isn't that what you want in a remake, though? A little bit
Yeah,
more of a creative
different.
interpretation. He kind of gives you what you want and covering like the entire plot in like the third act, and then the first act is all, you know.
I didn't feel like there was really that much added either. I mean, it was just enough to.
The doctor character got a lot. Michael McDowell as the doctor character got a lot more airtime.
Yeah.
The janitors that were befriending him and stuff.
But I
you
didn't
got
f-
to see his family a bit more, like his mother's dynamic with him.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like it went as in depth as he's making it out to seem like.
But hardcore Halloween people, it was too much.
All right.
Too much.
All right.
But I still like
Did you ever
I'll
see
delve
Rob
into that.
Zombie on fucking Joe Rogan? How
Yeah.
he kind of
Oh,
fell
yeah,
into
yeah.
filmmaking as like an accident.
The
Yeah,
fuck?
Just because he was like pitching ideas, and some producer was actually like, "That sounds kind of cool. When can you get a script?" And he's like, I don't know. Hold on a second."
Yeah. I did watch that. That was a really cool episode of Joe Rogan's
Yeah.
podcast when he talked
Kind of
to
like
him.
an accidental
Yeah.
success.
Just
when
like
he was
anytime you brought up anything, Rob Zombie's just like, "Oh Jesus, and fucking this happened, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
It's like
the
so
fact
good.
that he was fucking raised by carnival people.
Yeah.
When he tells
yeah.
that
I mean,
story.
yeah.
It kind of
Yeah.
explains a lot of things from White Zombie and
Yeah.
Rob
Yeah.
Zombie.
Yeah.
It sure does.
Just the
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Wasn't he a bike messenger for a porn magazine?
Yeah, it was something like that. Something like that at
Nice.
one
I
point.
think he also worked for Pee Wee's Playhouse back in the
Yep,
day too.
he worked on Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What
He did
about
a-
you guys? What do you like for Rob Zombie movies?
House of a Thousand Corpses would be my favorite.
I feel like House of the Thousand Corpses was a good starter, but it was so ADD it fucked with me. I was just like, I can't focus.
The animated sequence from Beavis and Butthead to America.
I forgot about that until I saw that not too long ago. Like it was on fucking some TV channel that I was just flipping through, and I saw Beavis and Butthead to America on there. And I completely forgot that Robert Stack was the FBI agent that was chasing them the whole time. It was fucking hilarious.
Nice.
All right, what we got next?
So next is Encyclopedia of Demons and Demonology. I use this a ton for like reference when I'm mentally blocked. It has everything from like demons to biblical stories to ghost stuff, poltergeist, movies.
Poltergeist?
Poltergeist. Not the movie Poltergeist, but poltergeist, possessions, just anything you can think of.
I was talking Poultrygeist, the trauma
Chicken
movie.
Ghost trauma.
Poultry, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Chicken?
that's the name
Okay.
of it.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever watched trauma movies? They're fucking weird.
Toxic Avenger would be one of those.
I met
Yeah.
Lloyd
No,
Kaufman
no.
before.
That's pretty
I think there's
awesome.
one. It's like
I got him to sign a
Romeo and
copy of
Juliet.
Class of Newcomb High.
He was at like a Philly convention years ago. The dude from Trauma.
Yeah, he
Really?
was.
He was.
Yeah.
They had the Toxic Avenger walking around.
Oh
You were
my
probably
I remember that.
distracted
shit.
by the little people wrestling as well as the dude from Clerks.
well, yeah, there was
Wait,
little.
which dude from Clerks was there?
I'm not supposed to be here today.
Yeah,
Oh,
that guy.
Dante?
Dante.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shoulda get off the pot, dude.
He was sitting next to Bam Margera.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It was a really weird convention.
Yeah, and like 50 feet away from them was the midget wrestler, little people.
Fun size, Brandon. They prefer fun size.
Oh man, we apologize.
We're gonna get canceled.
We apologize to our viewers right now.
This
Oh.
stuff is pretty fascinating, though. Like anybody who has any interest in the occult should read some stuff like this, because like the pictures that are painted of like demons, like just
Yeah.
what they're supposed to look like. They're just all these weird
kind of
amalgamations of like
Comical.
different animals and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of the descriptions in here are great because it sounds like you're reading some kind of like college board of directors. It's like, this person's the chairman of the seventh layer of hell. They're the
Yeah.
demon of astronomy and science.
The dean of the school of witchcraft.
Sweet.
So yeah, I recommend this for people that have mental blocks. It'll give you lots of ideas.
Any of that stuff is pretty cool for
Yeah.
Halloween themed things.
Good jump off points. This, going into movies, I picked a couple. This one's Hereditary. The poster, as you could see, they're a Queen cover band. About the same Bohemian Rhapsody. But this movie's great. It's an Ari Aster movie. It's about Annie Graham and her family. And her mom dies and leaves a really ominous note that says, "Our sacrifice will pale next to our rewards." And then shit goes south. So
Yeah, this is a fucking awesome movie. This is the best horror movie of 2018.
it really is. And
Easily.
it's got like a slow burn to it, but fucking stick with it because the ending is totally worth it.
I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon Prime now too. So
You're just
you
so
can go watch this if
confused.
you have
It's
that.
just like, what the fuck am I watching?
This
It's-
one stuck with me. Like I was fucking like definitely creeped out after watching this.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
a few days afterwards, I'm like, wow, it's fucking.
This asshole over here I thought was sleeping, and I'm sitting in bed, fucking traumatized.
Uh
Yeah. Clucks next to my ear.
huh.
Does that, and I'm just like, you can go fuck yourself, please.
Have you seen this, Reggie? Oh, you need to see
Oh,
this.
God.
Yeah, this is a fucking amazing horror movie.
Sweet.
It's a trip.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's so uncomfortable.
It made
It's so
Ari Aster
fucking
one of my favorite
uncomfortable.
directors. Just the way he portrays grief in his movies is
It's
fucking insane.
Beautiful.
Like
You're just watching
beautifully disturbing.
Yeah.
and it's very, even though it's somewhat supernatural, it still is at the same level, like so realistic. And you're just watching like this family have like a nervous breakdown
Yeah.
all at the same time.
Yeah.
That you don't even realize like some of the supernatural shit that might be going on, or you're like,
Interesting.
Are they
You're
just
like, hey,
going
is this
crazy?
person
or-
fucking nuts, or is there really some
So the
shit
A
happening?
story is about their descent, and the B
Yeah.
story is
Yeah.
kind of the supernatural.
The best
cool.
way I could
Yeah.
describe it is like your friend from high school invites you over to dinner and their parents are getting divorced and then they don't show up for dinner, but you're stuck there with the parents. And you just gotta sit through that shit.
yeah, your
For
friend
that
your
shit
friend
for
just
2
doesn't
hours.
your friend doesn't come to dinner.
Yeah, there's some pretty awkward moments in this.
Yeah. And Toni Collette is she's great in this movie, but my God, is she fucking terrible to her children.
Yeah, for sure.
So the second one here, another Ari Aster flick. I try to get like everything from different
Oh, you want
genres.
to talk about fucking awkward
Midsummer,
moments? There's a bunch of them in this
Oh
one.
So
my
good.
god.
Everything looks bright and cheery, but it's just a descent again. This basically is Danny is the main character, and some shit happens to her, and she goes on a trip for, like, with her shitty boyfriend.
A trip.
to-
She does start tripping
yeah,
in
she
the
does start
beginning.
tripping. But
That's a huge theme of the
basically,
movie, though. Her shitty boyfriend.
Yes.
It's she finds the most creative way possible to say, "I think we should see other people." So
Yeah.
yeah, it's worth watching for sure.
This one I enjoyed actually more than Hereditary. This one was even more of like that slow descent. Of
I
just,
didn't think this was a horror movie though when I watched it. Like it has definite horror elements to it, like, you know, gore and stuff like that. But like at the end, I'm just like, what did I just watch here? Like when I walked out of the theater, I'm like,
Yeah.
what was that?
You're
just
leaving. You
watch
just leave it.
basically the stages of grief.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you leave it
Someone
just
go
feeling
through it.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a weird movie, but it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah, like you don't feel scared or anything like a normal thriller or something like that, but you
No.
just feel uncomfortable the whole time. Like you're just on edge.
Yeah,
I feel
there's
like
a
this
definite sense
one-
of dread in this movie.
But this one definitely had more of a sense of humor to it than Hereditary did.
Yeah.
It has lighter moments.
Yeah, for sure.
The next one I have here is The Ring. Oh
Nope,
no, it's
you're
you're
next.
next. You're next.
This was pretty good.
This is a great slasher film.
Mhm.
It's about a family called the Davidsons. They try to have a nice family dinner for their anniversary, but their kids are pieces of shit. So it's that, and then killers show up. And then one of their kids' girlfriends was raised a survivalist, so she kind of
Fuck shit
owns
up.
them.
Yeah.
It's a
Nice.
great movie.
It's pretty awesome.
You kind of root for the bad guys through half of it because those kids are such pieces of shit.
You're like, hey, when is the good people supposed to get tortured
Yeah.
next?
Like they're
'Cause-
they're trying to like save each other, but they say things to each other like, "You just don't believe in me," and you're like, "Dude, just fucking hide in a closet or something." It's not that serious. But yeah, definitely recommend this one. It's a good one.
This came out what, like 5-6 years ago?
Came out in 2013, so 7 years.
Seven.
Oh, no
wow.
shit.
Yeah. This one's The
The
Ring
Ring.
by Gore Verbinski.
Isn't there a remake of this now, or am I thinking of The Grudge?
Yeah,
I mean, they both came
redid
out
The
around the same
Grudge,
time.
but they also did like another Ring that didn't take into consideration the other two that came after this.
Oh, wasn't it Ring on the Plane?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
it was just
I-
called Rings, right?
Yeah,
oh
it's
my
just
god, I
called
think I tried to
Rings.
stomach the first
Yeah.
half an hour of that. And I was just
Which
I
If
mean,
you
both of those
watch-
movies were based off of like Japanese.
Yeah,
yeah. Ringu.
cinema.
Ringu.
Yeah.
Ringu. There was like 8 Ringus, right?
There are.
Because like
Well, that and
The
The,
kid
Grudge was
Uh-huh.
like Junon or something like
Yep.
that.
But I'm a sucker for good color palettes, and this has a great color palette to it. All the cool colors.
yeah,
And
everything's
then-
muted with a tinge of green
with
to
a
it.
tinge of green, blue, and then when the tree's on fire and like all the orange pops against it. I'm just a nerd when it comes to that kind of thing. If you've
That's cool.
ever watched Cure for Wellness, Gore does the same kind of color palette.
Oh
in
yeah, I
one,
watched that
too.
movie. That was all right.
Yeah, it's a pretty good like gothic thriller, but I like this movie because it's creepy. The main character,
I think this kind of ushered in that wave that we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
the Japanese horror remakes of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the early kind of to the mid 2000s and stuff.
which most of them weren't great, but this one I feel like was pretty good.
yeah,
and this one
looking back,
also-
looking back, yeah, for sure. This movie,
Yeah,
I think, it still holds up.
they also had rings in this movie. Like if you watched the DVD, it had a short that was called Rings, and it was basically the movie you saw when you got the call that you have 7 days.
You gonna die.
Yeah. My synopsis. Let me see what I wrote here because I never write full ones. It's about a reporter named Rachel Keller who investigates the strange death of her niece, opens a can of worms, and single-handedly kills the movie and rental industry. With
Who was it that who
She
played
killed
was it
Blockbuster.
Naomi
Yeah.
Watts? Was
Naomi
that?
Watts.
Okay,
there you
yeah.
go. That was her name.
and her creepy-ass child who was like fucking a 50-year-old but this tall.
Yeah.
So we can blame her
Called
for
Rachel.
the death of Blockbuster
Yep.
and Video King.
Yep, she made a copy of that movie and then killed those movie industry. We say it's Netflix, but it was Rachel.
God damn it, Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel.
This one, 28 Days Later.
It's pretty classic.
zombie movie has to have the best fucking opening of basically any horror movie. Dude wakes up from a coma, and then there's that slow buildup of East Hastings song when he's just walking through and trying to figure out what's going on, and then he goes into that church. So good.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
You don't understand. It's rage. While the
Yeah.
apes are freaking the fuck out. I saw this movie too many times in theaters. Every time they would release a fucking extended version or an alternate ending, they got that extra $15 from me because I totally went every fucking time.
What did you think of the sequel to this, 28 Weeks Later?
I thought it was great. I just sort of wish they didn't use the same soundtrack because there were certain song cues that were almost like exactly the same. I just kind of wish they explored more music by the same artists instead of just recycling some of the same material that they did.
I think the story of the sequel was pretty interesting, though.
Yeah. They did some great cues. Like there was both those like thumb in the eyeball scenes in both movies. You know, you weren't really seeing the one coming in the second one. You know, that one for sure was a fucking like holy shit sort of moment.
Your thoughts on this movie, Brandon?
Is this one that you've actually seen?
No.
I don't
no,
like
of course not.
zombies.
Yep.
Zombies scare me.
It's more of a rage thing.
It's like
than
people getting
zombie.
rabies, basically.
Yeah.
But this movie did do a lot to like sort of usher in another wave of zombie movies.
Oh,
like
yeah,
we were
for
talking
sure.
about the wave
Yeah.
of Japanese horror, and then there was a good wave of zombies in the 2000. I'm pretty sure this came out before the Zack Snyder remake of Dawn of the Dead.
That's what
and
I
then
was just
after
gonna
that, there
ask.
was a whole fucking
Yeah,
shitload.
this
Yeah,
one
started.
came out.
George Romero came out of retirement for like Land of the Dead shortly afterward. There was a good wave of zombie
I'm pretty
movies.
sure Bob Terrell was in that. He was the finger-eating zombie
In what?
in Land of the Dead.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
But this movie came out like right around the time that they were doing those horrible remakes of like not remakes but sequels like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream, and it was just a lot of
this felt like
repetitive slasher, and then this came in.
It felt
and
like
was
a good
holy shit.
rejuvenation of horror.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Just the way this was
Summer in
filmed, too, it
03
just
and
looked
stuff.
more realistic and believable and raw,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Danny Boyle.
Yeah.
This one is 30 Days of Night. This one came out in 2007. It's a David Slade movie. It's about a bunch of people that live in Barrow, Alaska. And basically most of the town leaves for the winter because they have 30 days of night. But the people that decide to stay have to deal with a bunch of fucking vampires that show up.
Yeah.
And they have to try to survive till day 30 when the sun comes back up. And it's based on a comic book, and it's really well done, and just the lighting in
Dark
it,
horse
it's
book.
fucking great.
Were there a few of these movies?
There
was a couple of them,
but
I-
this
okay.
one's the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna be honest.
I kind of forget which one I saw, whether it was this one specifically or one of the cheesy.
This one's the
Sequels.
Josh Hartnett
Yeah.
one. It's the first one,
Mhm.
which I'm normally not a fan of him, but it was a pretty good movie.
He was in a couple other things after this that were horror related. There was that Showtime show, Penny Dreadful. He was in that.
He was.
That was pretty decent. That's worth watching if you haven't seen it yet.
There
I
was
love
guess
a
there's two
terrible-
seasons of it now.
Oh,
I never saw season 2, but I love the soundtrack.
Well,
from
no, there was a few seasons like a separate
the
story.
original one.
Yeah,
it. Yeah. I love the soundtrack from that.
yeah, it was really good. They had
Wasn't
like
that
Timothy Dalton in
horrible?
it.
Black Dahlia movie too. It was so bad. But this is good.
Oh, here's on to my nerdy shit. I decided to pick up some horror themed anime for you guys. This is one of the things that probably made me a weirdo when I was like 12. This is all about so
I
it
don't
turns
think
out-
I ever saw this one.
dude, you have to. There's a bunch of different versions. There is this one from like the mid 80s is fucking awesome. It
Yeah.
is super, super cool. So it turns out demons are real as discovered by archaeologists. And in order to fight them, this one character decides that he will allow himself to be possessed by a demon. But it turns out his spirit of being, his good spirit of being a human can overpower the demon. So he uses the demon to basically gain its powers. And he fights other fucking demons. And it is fucking sweet.
Volume 2, Demon Bird.
Yeah. Dude, she is topless the whole time, just fucking murdering everything she sees. It is fucking bananas.
Why are her wings coming from her ears?
Because she's a fucking demon,
Yeah,
bro.
dude.
Okay.
And those antennas coming out of her head give her telepathy. She can shoot her talons at other people.
I mean, this is anime. This does not have to make sense at all.
I was just wondering if I missed something in the story
Dude,
plot
like
or
the opening sequence is just like bananas because it starts off in this prehistoric world where what if demons were alive, and it's just like fairies and demons just murdering the shit out of each other. It's just super gory, really graphic, crazy for a fucking concept.
Cool.
I think this is a crazy concept for a superhero shit, you know?
Yeah.
Netflix actually bought the rights to this and did their own version, which came out in 2018.
I think I saw that on.
Yeah,
at
it's
one
called
point.
like
I
a
just never
Devilman
watched it.
Crybaby.
Yeah.
It extends the story a little bit, so I enjoyed that part, but I think the art quality and animation are kind of a backseat to like what they did before.
Now the cover of this one kind of looks like CG-esque. Is it like that, or is it more of a?
No, this came out
traditional
in
anime?
this first one came out in like 87, so this is
Okay,
all
so that's before
fucking,
all that.
yeah. That might just be like old airbrush technique, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But back in the day when you'd spend $30 on one VHS and it'd have one 45-minute
anime
episode
was
on.
fucking super expensive back then.
Yeah, it was so hard to be. I hope you young kids watching this who are anime fans appreciate what apps and all that shit have done for you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I used to get like fucking fan subtitled anime VHSs that people
Mhm.
would get like the original Japanese fucking
Yeah,
you know, anime and then fan subtitle it
Uh-huh.
and make a shitty copy of it and send it to you through the mail. And the quality was fucking horrible. when
Yeah.
you got it, but you at least you got to see it.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Because this they only really did like 2 episodes for. But
Do you remember
Yeah.
back in the day when you'd go to Blockbuster and you couldn't find the movie, so you'd have to call them and be like, "Do you guys have this movie in stock yet?" And be like, "No." And then an hour later, you'd
They're like,
call and
"What
be
the
like,
fuck?"
"Did they return Rugrats yet?"
return that yet?
Rugrats.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember grabbing volume 1 of this from fucking Video King back in the day and then buying the
What was
second
that?
VHS.
There was a fucking store in the mall that is where
Suncoast Video.
that's the one.
Suncoast,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. You know what exactly what
Oh,
I'm talking
man.
about.
Yep.
With the super sweet like Zach Morris triangles on the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It was like the black
Like the
carpet.
logo for
It was
store
the
was on, like, a
embodiment of the
fin
early
wheel.
90s. For
Yeah, it
sure.
was so good.
Absolutely.
I love that
Where you'd
place.
have those overpriced VHSs galore.
Yeah, they were the only ones that had like a decent selection of anime back in the day. I bought a bunch of shit there. Like I'm pretty sure I bought Akira there. That was the first time I saw
Nice.
that, and like a few other things.
I remember going there and buying Goof Troop.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet. So I'm gonna keep with this horror anime theme going and talk about Vampire Hunter D.
Another classic
Um,
anime.
He's a half vampire, kind of in like a Final Fantasy type world, where
Yeah.
it's like J.R.R. Tolkien-ish, but with weird sci-fi elements to it. You know, like the old Final Fantasy games kind of
Mhm.
were. Yeah, this is another one.
Yeah, this
It's
guy
fucking-
like Vincent Valentine. I'm pretty sure from fucking Final Fantasy VII was modeled after this guy.
Oh,
Pretty
you're
sure.
totally. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds okay. Swap his color palette a little bit, and you kind
Yeah,
of got
yeah.
him.
Change the outfit. It's the same dude.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, these were sweet. This was done. The original one was done in about 85. It's awesome. It's got all your fucking tropes: demons, monsters, werewolves. He swings into town to rescue a girl from the count that kissed her upon the night.
Yeah. They probably borrowed a lot from Castlevania also.
I think I think 85 kind of predated Castlevania a little bit.
Oh yeah?
Only by like a couple years, but probably so. Well, this is
Maybe
also
one influenced the other. Who knows?
yeah. It seems like I don't know. That might have just been in the water over there in Japan at that time, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of stuff was sort of like that because this was a manga beforehand. So if they did the animated film in 85, then those books were coming out way beforehand.
Yeah, this is like one of the most well-known animes from that time period.
Yeah, for sure. I remember, well, when I was in high school, and I'm sure when you were, and somebody was like, "Oh, you ever watch anime?" They're
Yeah,
like, fuck yeah, I've
anytime-
seen Vampire Hunter D, dude.
Yeah, this was like synonymous with like anime in high school for sure. Like that and
Yeah.
Akira and maybe Fist of the North Star,
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. You know?
Throwing some Ninja Scroll or
Yeah,
Ghost in
yeah.
the Shell.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the top 5 must watch. You can click forward one, and they did 2 of these movies actually. One of them was in 85, the other was in 2000. This was actually just one of the scenes from it because I couldn't find a good high res cover of it, but the artwork in this I still think holds a fucking nod to some shit that's coming out now. Like it just looks
just like the Castlevania
good.
anime that Netflix put out over the last couple of years, which is pretty good.
Yeah, this one's rad. It's got a better group of monsters that are running out of them. There's that cool shit where people have mouths growing like out of their stomachs and whatnot. You know, like some of those old medieval illustrations of demons and stuff. Borrow a little bit from that. It's just great
just
stuff.
like I'm the devil. Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah.
Freed me.
Oh, there's a sweet monster that gets to swim through shadows and he sneaks up from behind you and slits your fucking throat.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sweet scene of him just like literally like swimming through people's shadows. It's fucking awesome. There's a lot of cool shit in here. It's great. Ooh, Helsing, another vampire one. The
Same time period.
I think this little bit. Well, actually, you know what? This might be about the same time period because I remember. Oh my god, I remember buying this on DVD, and like when you bought the first DVD, you got the box to collect the box set. You know, but I didn't have the scratch to buy like fucking $30 fucking DVDs. But the box set came with like
only 8 years old. What the fuck do you think I am?
It came with a blood bag that had like the movie logo on it and stuff.
That's hilarious.
A blood bag.
Yeah.
That's
So the
awesome.
Helsing organization is a Men in Black type crew that keeps a track of monsters and all
Like
cults.
Van Helsing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they keep track of all call activities all throughout Europe and stuff. And this TV show picks up as a normal cop girl gets bitten by a vampire. But the Helsing organization has an actual vampire that works for her name, Alucard. Get it? Dracula backwards.
Yep.
Um,
That's not the first time I've
Yeah, I
heard
know.
that though. Like I'm pretty sure
Castlevania has done that a few times.
Well, yeah, in
What
that
is it?
anime, like his son is
Alucard?
named that.
Alucard. Okay.
And this one, it might be Arucard, like AR, you know, but it's just Dracula backwards.
Yeah, it's the same thing in
Uh-huh.
the new Netflix series. That's like his son.
Yeah. So yeah, a girl gets bitten by a vampire and he decides to take him under his wings. So you get to gradually see this super old, super vampire working for this cop organization. Yeah, a lot of fun. It's got a giant, it's like Dirty Harry if he was a fucking vampire. It's pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool.
He's got a giant ass gun and just shoots the shit out of people. This was one I ended up finishing this by downloading. This gives you a place and time. Downloading the episodes off Kazaa. Remember that shit? Really
So,
bad,
like,
really bad,
2001.
really bad subtitles off fucking Kazaa downloads.
Hasn't even existed in 20 years.
Yeah,
awesome.
for sure.
Well, that was like right up there with Napster around that.
Yeah,
time.
I feel like that was the first major one to replace Napster.
Yeah, Napster was more music focused, and Kazaa was like anything you wanted to get.
Yeah,
like
anything
games
goes.
or fucking.
Way to go,
Programs
Lars.
and
shit.
software.
Way to go, Lars.
And my last one is High School of the Dead. This is a super fun zombie one. So the zombie outbreak happens basically right in the middle of a fucking school day. Who would have thunk it? And then all these kids are just kind of fighting to survive. It's really self-aware and kind of fun. And it kind of has all the cliche horror tropes like random titties and silly stuff.
I was about to say, you like this because of the titties, don't you?
They didn't even show the school nurse. Wait till you see the school nurse.
That's a yes.
They make a lot of George Romero jokes, but they never pronounce his last name right. They keep saying like, "Oh, this is like one of those George Romeo movies, huh?" So it's a lot of fun. If anybody's ever seen any of these,
The synopsis you just gave me reminds me of that movie Elijah Wood made like a few years ago, Cooties. Did you ever see that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With the kids at school.
Kids eat tainted chicken nuggets and turn into zombies. It's fucking great.
oh wait, it wasn't him. It was Adam Scott. But there was yeah.
Who made that one?
Elijah Wood.
Oh, I didn't know he made that.
I think he
he's in
directed it.
He made it.
He-
too?
I knew he was in it. Yeah, I didn't know he made it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was working on a horror project like that. So I'm pretty sure that's the one.
What was that one where Adam Scott was in and it was like a Omen spoof where like his stepson is fucking
Oh,
Damien?
dude, that's on. I don't
That's on
remember the name of it.
Netflix.
Yeah, it's a Netflix movie, but it's fucking hilarious.
He's part of like a stepdad group. They all
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
How shitty it is to be a step parent.
So that's my rundown of horror themed anime.
Well, I think that's it. I didn't really have time to add anything to this, but a couple movies I would suggest that recently came out. One is this movie called Underwater. It's Kristen Stewart's in it, but it's like this like Mariana, bottom of the Mariana Trench kind of thing. It's happened in a couple movies before, like Leviathan, which is the one from the 80s. But like basically this underwater drilling rig, like as soon as this movie starts, shit just goes wrong. And like they got to escape the rig somehow. Because like they awoke this like giant Cthulhu looking monster at the bottom of the ocean, and it's fucking really cool. There's a lot of cool monster stuff in it, and The Ritual is a good one to mention on Netflix. That was probably one of my favorite horror movies from a year or two ago.
It's got one of the Andes from Hot Fuzz in it.
Yeah,
One of the Andes.
One of the Andes.
Yeah, that one. A bunch of dudes just go off the trail and hike in the Norwegian wilderness and end up running into some old Norse mythology kind of stuff that totally fucks with them.
Oh, no shit.
It's
pretty
basically
badass.
the Grindal of Norse mythology.
Yeah.
It's just
Sweet.
a giant mentally handicapped thing that's part animal and part god.
It's the craziest looking monster I've seen, like in recent memory in a movie. Like,
Sweet.
I can't even describe it in words. Like you have to go see it. Like just watch the movie towards the end. They do a really good job of not showing you the creature until the end of the movie too.
But you get like little glimpses here. And
Yeah.
there, like, what was that?
Yeah, you just be like, what the fuck? Then at the end, it's like, holy shit, what the fuck is this thing?
Through the whole thing, they build it up pretty good too. With like really weird imagery.
Nice.
So should we do like an anime episode? Because I feel like
I'm going to do a
kinda
deep dive on some of these
going into
characters.
that
I've
at one
actually
point.
started to collect and read some more manga and stuff. Like Devilman, I would love to do because there were a handful of versions of it. There was one from like 72, 87, 2000, and then 18 for the Netflix version.
Well, there's like a lot of really good movies from when that first started that would be worth talking about. Like a lot of
I
Studio
think
Ghibli stuff. That's pretty awesome, like Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke.
Yeah,
and
maybe
stuff
we
like
could do
that.
a rundown of just that overall company. Maybe we could talk about Akira first, since that was one of the first ones to really break through an American audience.
Yeah.
And cross-reference that with like some of the book illustrations and stuff. That would be super rad.
Yeah, there's like a handful of classic movies that would be worth talking about.
I know
How
nothing
like
about-
modern cyberpunk riffed.
We know you
so
hate
much.
anime. You had mentioned that before.
I don't necessarily hate it. I don't know much about
We'll talk
it.
about Dragon Ball Z, bro, the whole fucking time.
God, fuck Dragon Ball Z. It's
See,
the worst.
That's the thing is that's what I know really about anime. So that's I don't
Okay.
necessarily
Well,
hate
you gotta-
anime. I hate the mainstream.
Well, you got to understand,
So-
like that particular series, like that was some of the stuff I had fan subs of back in the day, because you could not get that anywhere in the United States besides like the first season, which they had already dubbed in English. But the original ones are way better. And yeah, I will admit that half of my college drawing portfolio was Dragon Ball Z designs.
No shit.
I still have them if you'd like to see
I
them.
think
Well, yes, we need you need to bring these in. We need to see these.
Okay, here's the hilarious yet weird thing about like fucking Dragon Ball Z is that's like the closest thing you could get to like a live action comic book.
Yeah.
Because as soon as that guy was finished drawing and putting out one of those books, they just went and started animating it. So they were like almost animating him as fast as he was fucking writing and drawing them.
Yep.
And there's like a bunch of filler episodes where they're like, hey, he hasn't gotten that book done yet, but we got to deliver an episode by next week.
Right.
What are we going to have him do? I don't know. Have him power up for 20 minutes?
I think
Yeah.
that's why I hated that show, because my friends would watch marathons of it, and it was just like fucking mostly that.
Well, the
Yeah.
English
Where
dub is
just-
like
You'd
so
have those-
bad
The
compared to the
background's
original
moving,
one.
and it's just them screaming, and I'm like,
Yeah.
That was the
Another
filler
episode?
episodes where they were waiting for
Right.
more source material.
And
to
that's
fucking work
90% of anything that I ever saw was that. So
Yeah.
that's why I never was
from. Just
like,
had the unfortunate experience of only clicking on when it was like a
Yeah.
filler episode.
and that's why I'm just like, what is the excitement about this?
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I never really got into the more obscure stuff that
Dragon
you
Ball
guys
is
are
probably
talking about.
just like the most popular one.
That's what I mean.
That's like
I'm
a
not into the
Simpsons.
mainstream.
It's like one of the
Yeah.
longest running. It's probably been on since as long as the Simpsons.
Well, they
I think,
did like
Dragon
multiple
Ball.
versions of it. Like there was Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
and then Dragon Ball GT, and I think there's another
Which
one
was-
now because it finally caught on like 20 years
Because the artist,
after.
the original artist and writer came back to the series, and that's
Yeah.
what Dragon Ball Super is.
yeah,
Is they actually have that guy's input. Akira.
Toriyama.
Yeah,
that's the dude.
there you go. What the fuck else did he work on?
I'm not sure.
We'll find out.
Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger were based
Those
off
are
his artwork.
yeah, those are another big.
He did a lot
series.
of game art designs for people and stuff, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
That would be worth talking about then.
Maybe
Something like
Akira
that.
Toriyama's career. That'd be there you go.
We can probably get.
So I'm a dork and I love this shit.
We can probably get a few episodes.
Well, dude,
sounds like
Ninja Scroll is a fucking badass anime.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, even if you're not into that shit, you should check.
I
it
was
out.
gonna talk about Wicked City a little bit because the same guy did
Is
Ninja
that-
Scroll and Wicked.
Is that the same as like Demon City Shinjuku? Is that the same thing, or is that like a
Wicked
different
City's
thing?
a little bit different. It's almost like an X-Files where they're running around in suits trying to figure out this occult stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like the same old man from Ninja Scroll who's a horny old perv. There's a few like just like a Ninja Scroll, there's a couple of rape scenes, so it's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
Just drop a hard R in there.
oh, yeah,
I don't know, man. Sometimes they do not give a fuck. And they will put anything in those crazy ass cartoons. And I love them for it. And thanks for making my childhood super fucking weird.
It's probably
Sitting around listening to fucking Marilyn Manson and Megadeth and playing Doom and watching fucking Devil Man. Thanks for making me
Fucking
weird.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other like notable horror movies to check out for this time?
Oh, there were so many. That's why I had
Yeah.
like 8 instead of 3.
Oh, I went to Orphan. Did you ever see The Orphan?
I didn't see it, but you've told me about it. a
Yeah,
couple
that
of
one's
times.
probably one of my favorites.
Esther.
Esther. Yeah. Crazy little bitch.
Yeah.
My favorite is
Thriller.
Night of the Living Dead, but everybody's probably seen that
Oh,
one.
I should
That one's
probably
kind of a classic.
mention right now in HBO Lovecraft Country is fucking
I gotta check
really
that one out.
good.
Yeah, we need to check
It's
that out.
like there's some sci-fi elements to it too, because like I can't even begin to describe it because it got like a few episodes in, and it got fucking crazy. Like I didn't even know what was going on in the show anymore. But they've seemed to bring it back around. I think the season finale airs next week, maybe. But it's any fan of horror is gonna love that fucking show. And then there's like this other like racial element to it because it takes place around like
Jim Crow era.
yeah, Jim
shit.
Crow era, like when it sucked to be black and fucking like people were trying to kill black people all the fucking time. I mean, there's stuff that
It's
would kind
not-
of go with
yeah.
today, you know,
It
a
hasn't
little bit.
ended
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it was especially bad during the time of this show. And that's a whole nother element of horror that is weaved amongst this like cosmic H.P. Lovecraft kind of stuff. And it's just so fucking good. I would recommend any fan of horror check this out.
Also the Stephen King one with Jason Bateman. What's the name of it?
Oh, The Outsider.
The
That's another
Outsider.
good
That's
one.
A really good
yeah.
one.
Yeah. If you're into child murder.
Yeah. If you're
Jeez.
into murder mystery.
yeah. That was a really good fucking show
If you're
though.
into child murder. Wow.
Well, it's,
Well,
it's
I mean,
about a child
it's dark,
murder.
dude. It's a fucking dark show, and it's really good. It reminded me of True Detective, like
It
if
did.
all the
That one's
the
awesome.
spooky occult shit that they were going for in the first season actually
Was
happened,
true.
Yeah. and they didn't go more of like just a crazy guy murdering people
Yeah.
kind of route.
And if no one's watched True Detective season 1, go fucking watch it.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, that is probably, I would say the best season of television show that I've seen.
Yeah.
We'll have to
The
watch that again
writing's
soon.
On point.
I've watched it a few
recently.
times, and
Yeah.
like I kind of, if I could like wipe my memory from something that I've seen and then watch it all over
Yes.
again, that would be
Yeah,
that would be
that'd
it.
be one of them.
So I remember being completely enthralled like every fucking week
I
that
feel
a new
like-
episode of that was going to come out.
Every time I watch it, though, I just leave with more questions. I'm like, what the fuck?
What is going on?
Not necessarily what's going on, but because fucking Matthew McConaughey sees such weird shit, it's like, did he know what was going to happen? Is what happened because time is a
Yeah.
flat circle.
Well, I mean, there was to quote him in that show, at one point he was like, sometimes I didn't know if I was hallucinating or if I was mainlining the secret truth of the universe.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
pretty
dark.
awesome.
It's a pretty dark show.
Such a good show.
But yeah, check out all these things. I mean, you got a couple of weeks left in October here. So
Yeah. And all the classics. If you haven't watched the classics, like Halloween, Rosemary's Baby, get on that shit. The fuck?
What's your favorite Universal monster?
favorite what?
Universal monster
Universal monster.
or movie?
Probably the Wolfman. I go with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
I like
Lon Chaney Jr.
the idea of lycanthropes, you know? It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Or lycanthropy, whatever
Mhm.
whatever the fuck it is.
I like when they got cheesy with it and it was Abbott and Costello, like Meet the Wolfman or Meet Vampire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dracula.
I cannot wait for when Marvel runs out of money and then they start doing super cheesy shit like how they started to be like, ah, fuck, let's do Creature from the Black Lagoon versus Wolfman, also versus Frankenstein. And then they're going to be like, all right, let's do Wolverine versus Ghost Rider on the Hulk's backyard.
I would watch all of those.
I would watch that too. I
Yes.
can't wait for that.
Do you want to just make it on our own?
No, Disney would be so far up our ass with lawsuits.
They would be.
Yeah, but ours wouldn't be good. It would just be us in the basement making it out of like puppets.
I like Frankenstein. I love the Frankenstein movies.
I was about to say Frankenstein.
Yes. Karloff is amazing.
I thought the first one was great. How it was accidental. Fucking like, he's a little more kind-hearted and accidentally drowned the girl. That scene is like, oh no, don't throw her in the water. Don't throw her in the water.
Hey, if you want to see all these classic monsters, just watch Monster Squad. That's a good one.
Wolfman does got nards. Which, that's a pretty fucking crazy opening, man. That movie opens a lot fucking crazier than that movie ends up being. How
Yeah.
they're opening a portal to the future and fucking like the whole seance with the
Dude.
crystal and shit.
Next week.
Monster Squad, we'll do a deep dive.
No,
Monster
I'm not
Squad.
saying.
Oh,
but
we'll
that
hold a
article-
seance and then we'll fucking. Oh, CERN? Shit.
Yeah, CERN.
Piss.
Monster Squad's going to be true, man. CERN.
What's
they're-
going on with CERN? They're
They're going
opening
to
a
turn
portal.
it. Yeah, they're turning it back on to hopefully open a small black hole to see if they can open a portal to another.
Start 2012
Sweet.
over again.
No, we're going to go back to March 2020 and relive this shit. All of lockdown is going to be a fucking Groundhog's Day. Can we not fuck with time particles during 2020?
I don't know. I'm kind of all right with that. I could use another 3-month vacation. So.
Yeah, I mean
They're
that
like,
wasn't.
in theory, it'll open a small black hole in a parallel universe. And I'm like, in theory, what if it goes wrong? What if this goes terribly
Yeah,
wrong?
what if we collapse another universe and we're arguing over Nelson Mandela and the Bernstein Bears?
Oh,
What year did
God.
Wilford Brimley die?
1974 and last year.
Because I'm pretty sure it was like 1974, 2002, and 6
But he
weeks
had those
ago.
commercials. What were those commercials? Didn't he have like...
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, diabetes.
Diabetes. Yeah.
I am someone you know and love. Probably has diabetes.
He's also in The Thing, which we'll be talking about next week with Zach Pedley
And he is the
in
same
detail.
age as Paul Rudd is now in The Thing. As you could see, people aged way harder back in
Oh,
the day.
yeah, dude.
than they do
Diabetes,
now.
bro. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Diabetes makes you. Yeah.
Do you think half of The Thing was scripted, or was it just him having a low blood sugar day?
I mean, it could go either way.
I'd like to get out now. Can you let me
I'd
out?
like to
Just
come
eating
back
Dinty Moore.
inside.
Are you going to leave me here all this time?
Slowly closes the door in his face.
Hi.
Oh.
Yeah, in that scene, there's a noose hanging right in front of him.
I know.
Too.
He's trying to be like,
So
I'm
funny.
better, as he's eating Dinty
I'm
Moore.
better.
out of a can.
I want to come back inside now. Don't mind this noose right here.
Meanwhile, I
Oh.
made stew out of God knows what animal.
No, it was Dinty Moore. It came in a can. He just popped the top on that shit and was eating it and felt better at that point. That's why I'm like, was it diabetes?
Yeah, we're going to
rage?
deep dive into that and many other John Carpenter things next week here.
Yes.
Yeah, coming soon.
If Zach doesn't cancel on us again.
If he does, we'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
We'll do it without him. He'll be pissed.
Thanks, Zach.
He can come and talk about Ghost of Mars because none of us are going to watch that.
Oh, man. I can't wait to talk about why he thinks that's a good movie next week because it's fucking bad.
He told us why, and I still.
Yeah, let
Still
him
watch it.
explain it. Yeah, let him explain it because it still makes no sense. All right. Stay tuned for Zach.
To horror
We're out.
nerds. Cheers.
Hey.
Damaged by you. Damaged
Yeah, so
by
there's
me.
two.
I'm confused.
There's two.
Confused. Don't want to be confused.
Okay, quickly.